What's happening, everyone? Nicky Hawkins here, West Ham Fan TV, back once again with another video with my old mate, Ryan Archer. Ryan, how you doing, mate? I ain't seen you in a few days. You missed the last one.
Yeah, not bad, mate. You? Yeah, I
Not
ain't
too-
been I ain't been that well, mate. To be honest,
You ain't been well.
nah. Man flu, hay fever, headaches, the lot.
Really?
Yeah, miserable git. and Mark Arnautovic is making it worse.
Oh, he is, mate. He is. So he had to crack open a drink now. I'm getting a bit of a dry throat. As you know, this is West Ham Fan TV Live and Uncut, the Total West Ham show. We just shoot the shit on here and just talk about everything West Ham. Callum Corcoran says, give a shout out. Hello, Callum.
Hello, Callum.
How you boys doing? We're doing well. We'll be discussing. Well, first things first, mate. Really, I suppose we've got to discuss Marko Arnautovic. I'll let you start.
Oh, where do you start with this one? I think we all see it coming, didn't we? We all sort of knew this was going to happen. We sort of wanted to give him the benefit of doubt towards the end of the season after he'd done it to us in January. But I'm not shocked. I see your video yesterday. I'm not shocked by it. And to be honest, I'm not really bothered by it. I think, if we can go and get Maxi Gomez and Rondon and get rid of Arnautovic, I think that'd be better for the club. You'd have two players that want to play for West Ham. This Marko Arnautovic's brother is a big problem for Marko Arnautovic. What was it he said yesterday? We're treating him like a donkey or an horse or something.
I don't know what fucking sort of donkey or horse they got, because my donkey and horse don't get £100,000 a week.
Nah, and yeah, it's just like I said, it's not a shock. Look, we all know at the end of the day, Marko Arnautovic is a good player. But after he signed his new deal in January, did he really put on any good performances? How many games can you think of? Probably Tottenham away, Watford away, most probably. He hasn't really set West Ham alight. It took him 2.5 months to score a goal after he signed that new deal. So, and for his brother saying that the club were trying to sell him in January, that can't be true, because what if you wanted to sell him when he just sold him? Why would you give him a new deal?
Yeah, that's right. It's just nonsense. It's just nonsense that comes out of his mouth every transfer window. I said, mate, as soon as he started playing up last time, I said we should sell him. I know that you was willing to give him a chance and all that, but for me, once a player starts doing that, he's he sort of lost. He lost my trust.
The thing is, sorry, mate. The thing is, I didn't give him sort of benefit of doubt. I sort of said if he stays, then I said I wouldn't cheer him. I wouldn't cheer his name, and I didn't. I didn't sing his name. But when he scored, of course I'm going to cheer, because I want West Ham to win games. And as we said, Marko Arnautovic is a good player, but I would rather have got rid of him in January.
Yeah. The thing is, it seems to me, I don't know, because when the Arnautovic news come out in January about that he fancied a move away and all this sort of thing, I think we turned down something like a £29 million bid from a Chinese club. It seems to me like they give him a new contract, bit more money, and we said at the time we think in the summer it could be time for him to go. Because we think they've made a sort of a promise. It seems to me that that might not have been the case. He might have, he might turn around and said that he's going to stay. But what it seems to me is his agent has been in contact with a Chinese club, because apparently as soon as he handed in the transfer request or made it clear that he wanted to leave West Ham, there was a bid come straight in for £19 million. Now, for me, £19 million in this market isn't worth it. It isn't worth. I know you want to get rid of him and that, but for £19 million, for the sake of £19 million, I'd rather chuck him in the reserves and just say, you know what, you're not going anywhere.
The thing is, as well, we've got money to spend on a striker. So if it comes to it, we ain't in no rush to sell Arnautovic. Obviously, you want to get him out as soon as you can, so you don't disrupt the squad. But he signed a new deal. He's our player. I mean, his brother turned around yesterday and said that it's Marko Arnautovic. It's always been his dream to go to China and win trophies. Was there even a Chinese league about 10 years ago? I don't even think there was, because Chinese football's only become popular in the last 5 years since they've had a bit of money pumped
There
into it.
probably was a Chinese league, but not what it is now. It was probably repackaged like a bit like the MLS was, and the Premier League was back in the thingy. But it probably existed, but not in the form it is now. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, when you look at Perez, that's gone to Leicester today from Newcastle for £30 million.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a great striker, is he? So why should we sell one of our best players for 19, 20 million, 25 million? We should be holding out for at least minimum 35.
No, 100%. 100%. You got to think about profit as well. Any profit that we make, we have to give Stoke a 20. I think he's got a 20% sell-on clause. And yeah, you're right, mate. 20, get our money back. He's been our best player. You don't want to give, obviously, apart from the obvious. But he's been one of our better players until he started playing up. It's no coincidence that he didn't try very hard until the last 5 games of the season, because he's trying to put himself. He keeps on touting himself around for Inter Milan and a club in China and all this sort of and all this thing. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's a difficult situation because you're sort of backed into a corner now. I wish they would deal with these things, at the time. You know what I mean? I said to them, let him go in January, get Gomez in straight away. No fucking about. You know what I mean? As soon as someone starts making noises like that, he's been doing it all summer as well. He's been dropping hints about, who knows where I'm going to be next year and all of this sort of thing. Like, he done it to Stoke. It's no surprise to me. It said yesterday, I'm disappointed, but I'm not upset or angry. You know what I mean? Because I was expecting it.
Yeah, the thing is as well, I mean, if we can get a deal done, we're going out to China as well, so we can save on postage and packaging. We'll take him out there.
Yeah, we'll drop him off.
We'll wrap him up and just give us the 35, 40 million. And that's it. We'll move on. Maxi Gomez has come out today, apparently. Sky sources, them lot. They've turned around and said that Maxi Gomez favours a move to West Ham now. So if that is true, then it'd be good to get him in early, get him out there training with a squad in Switzerland. And then work on another target. I mean, Rondon, for me, I think he'd be a great signing for West Ham. I mean, you're looking at getting him for about £15 million. He's going to score goals, and he's going to score a lot. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a 20, 25 goal a season striker, but with the players we've got, he could get between 10 and 15 goals easy.
Let's take some comments off of the chat. Just listen to the West Ham way with ex-West Ham employee William Jose and Werghorst are 2 strikers we are interested in. Gomez is the main target still. I think people are just taking shots in the dark, mate, about who we're interested in because there's there's so many names being bandied about. Marega and Maxi Gomez would be class. Darren Clarkson says, bang on the iron brew. Nicky's bang on the iron brew. No, it's Fanta today, mate. Contact light, long him off. More trouble than he's worth. Hammer well. Who said Maxi Gomez wants to play for us? Thought his head was in Spain. Joe Hill, Sky Sources, that was, mate. Joe Hill, yes, you two know exactly what you're saying, and Rondon and Gomez up top together would be class. I finally saved up. Sean Swadley says, I finally saved up enough to buy a shirt last year and got on Arnie. My first ever. Regrets. Sean, send me a message. I'm going to send you something. Ben Davis says, just listen to the West Ham way with ex-West Ham employee William Jose. Oh, I read that one out. Sorry. SNID7 says, I've said this before. I reckon his brother is just doing exactly what Nicholas Anelka did, just touting him around for the most money. Not sure if Arnie knows what he wants. Darren Clarkson, what trophy is he going to win in China? I don't know, mate. Alan Frost, disagree, gents. Fuck the money and just get shot now. A lot of people have turned against him. It wasn't going to take a lot, was it?
No, a lot of people sort of turned against him in January, and rightly so. When a player does that, I mean, you look at the attitude of Hernandez. He says that he wants to leave the club, but he's still out there pre-season. He hasn't thrown his toys out the pram. He even come out and made a statement today saying that West Ham are fighting for Europe next season, and if he has to be part of it, if he can't reach a deal, then he's happy to be a part of it. And that's what you sort of want to hear. You want to hear that players want to help you break into Europe. But with the Arnie situation, the thing is, it could be a knock-on effect because Arnie could do it. Lanzini's already sort of hinted at it. Maybe if he sees Arnautovic leave, then Lanzini might think, well, if West Ham are letting these sort of players go, where's the ambition?
Yeah.
But look, let Arnautovic go, bring in Maxi Gomez, wherever we can get a couple of strikers in, then people like Lanzini, Fornals, Yarmolenko now, who's back, Anderson, Antonio. We've got a great squad there to work with next season.
I'm reading an article at the moment that says that we're willing to let him go, but wouldn't be much less than £40 million, seeing as we turned down a £35 million bid in January.
The one thing is that I don't want this dragging on. And look, if we get in 2 players, 3 players now, then let it drag on. Let's get the best money we can. But you don't want it dragging on to the last knock-ins of the transfer window, and then we sell him, and then we ain't got enough time to bring anyone in, and we end up re-signing Andy Carroll or someone like that. It's a difficult one. I mean, we had a bit of good news yesterday with Snodgrass signed a new deal, well deserved, and then bang, you get hit with that Marko Arnautovic has handed in another transfer request, 2 within 6 months. So his heart's not here. He doesn't care for the fans. He doesn't care for his teammates. He doesn't care about anything about the club. All he cares about his money. So let him go.
Matthew Gowdy says we need Colton Cole back. Brandon Pitcher, what about Mariga? He's great. What'd you make of this Mariga?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I don't really know much. He's the boy from Porto. Is it Porto?
Yes,
it is. Yeah. I think we was linked with him last year as well. He's a big target man. So yeah, he could be a good option. You know, if Maxi Gomez drags out and Pellegrini decides to look elsewhere, he could be an option. There's definitely a lot of options out there. I mean, Callum Wilson, I see today, has been linked again. Look, you're talking 35, 40 million for him, maybe a bit more. But if you get in Maxi Gomez and Rondon and then sell Arnie, go out and buy Callum Wilson. But I think that'd be too big of an ask for our owners to do that. 3 signings like that.
Hammer well says Mariga seems too expensive for us for his age, in my opinion. No sell on value for a start. Steer clear. Jack Waller, we should honestly turn around to Hernandez and give him a massive confidence boost. Stop giving him broken promises every season. Sticking him on the wing, he will score goals, especially with options. Gomez or Mitrovic. Mitrovic is proven in the Premier League. He can fuck off to China. Carroll pay as you play comes up a few times. I think that's.
I've just seen someone there say Che Adams, but he unfortunately signed for Southampton. He signed for Southampton the other day. So
Mariga reminds me of Demba Ba, not technically great, but scores goals. Yeah, there's loads of. There's loads of. I think there's loads of options at the moment.
The thing is,
we're in a good position. So.
Yeah, the thing is, mate, we're going to be linked with probably about another 10, 15 names over the next 3 or 4 weeks. It's what happens in the transfer window. You got your main targets, and all of a sudden you ain't got them, so you got to move and look elsewhere. So it's going to be an interesting next 5 or 6 weeks, whatever's left of the transfer window now. So, but I hope we get something done for one of our main targets within the next couple of weeks, just so he can come in and settle down and have a few pre-season games.
Legend gone to West Brom. Another one. Julian Dix.
Yeah, good. It's good for him. It's not really a surprise, is it? Slaven sort of looked after him, taking him now. He trusts him because he hasn't got any of the other coaching staff from his West Ham days with him. So it's good for Julian. He done a good job last year at Haybridge. But look, he's better than that, and that's no disrespect to Haybridge. It'd be good for West Brom. It was seeing them together, seeing Slav again. I mean, I see his press conference the other day, and they was asking him about when he went to the Hawthorns with West Ham, and he was referring still to West Ham as we. So he's obviously he loves the club.
Yeah, he had to correct himself a few times, didn't he?
Yeah, it's a shame it didn't work out for him. But look, we've moved on from Slaven now. Good luck to him next season, and I'm sure West Brom are going to be at the sort of top end of the Championship, fighting for promotion.
Good luck, Dixie, my childhood hero, great football man. People saying we've got a lack of midfield. Do you agree with this lack of midfielders? Because I think we've got a few midfielders.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, we've got a couple of a few injury-prone midfielders in there at the moment. Let's go through the midfield. You got Antonio, Declan Rice, Obiang, Snodgrass, Sanchez, Yarmolenko, Anderson. Technically, who have I missed out there? There's probably a couple more that I've missed out there. Mark Noble, how do I forget Mark Noble? But yeah, there's quite a few in there, but I still think that we do need another defensive midfielder. I still think we do. I think we've got enough attacking quality midfielders and ball players, but we just need another defensive midfielder because I think someone like Obiang will probably leave the club. Sanchez, I think, will leave the club as well. So we definitely need a player in there.
James Fever, are you concerned that the club may not get the striker they need if Arnie goes? It's always a concern, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. You're letting probably one of our best players go, and you want to replace him with sort of similar sort of talent. I'm not saying they're going to be as good as Arnie because obviously Arnie's played in the Premier League before. So if Maxi Gomez comes in, you never know. He could come in and hit the ground running straight away, score a few goals, and he's a hero. If he don't score in the first 10 games, people get on his back. We was lucky with Diafra Sakho. He come in and he scored about 8 or 9 in a row, didn't he? So we all took to him and loved him. So it's gonna. I just hope that we get something done within the next couple of weeks. But as I've said plenty of times, I trust Pellegrini. And whatever Pellegrini thinks is best for West Ham and the first team, then we've got to trust him.
Someone just said, where's it gone? I need someone like William Carvalho. No, that wasn't it. Should we give Josh Cullen a chance? That comes from Anthony McKeown.
Yeah, Cullen's an interesting one because he had a good season last year with Charlton, got him promoted. He's back with us now, obviously pre-season, so Pellegrini can have a proper look at him. When you look at Josh Cullen, he's height, he's build, he's a bit similar to Jack Wilshere, probably not as good as Jack Wilshere yet. Whether he get a chance in the first team, I don't think so. I think he'll probably go back out on loan, but I'd like to see him have a good pre-season and maybe prove himself that he is good enough to be around the first team squad. And Pellegrini, you never know, he might say we're going to keep Josh until January at least.
Yeah. What? So I've lost my comments again.
Someone's just said Benzema. I'd definitely take Benzema. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'll definitely take
on
him.
now, Benzema though. He's not a young man anymore.
I'll have a 40-year-old Benzema.
Do you think Oxford will get a chance this season? And more importantly, do you think he should be given a chance this season?
I see pictures of him obviously back at training. He's still liked there by the players.
He's been left out the tour though, hasn't he?
Has he?
Yeah, he's been left out the Swiss tour, I believe.
Maybe there's a deal then for him to leave, and maybe he was just at the training ground the other day just to pick up his stuff and maybe say his goodbyes. I don't know. It's never really worked out for him. We all had high hopes of him when he had that man of the match performance against Arsenal on his debut, 16 years old, but it just hasn't worked out for him. It's a shame. We've had a lot of young players over the past 5 years that haven't sort of made it. You've got to be that extra special to make it, a bit like Declan Rice. We was at his debut when he come on Burnley away, that last game of the season. And the season after, he just made himself into the first team, and now he's probably going to be a future captain. And what's his value now? He's probably worth about 50, 60 million minimum. Yeah.
Let's pit Barca for Neymar to Hammerwell. Yeah, that'd be the day, wouldn't it?
I remember when we bid for Neymar once.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, do you remember that? It was
12 million pounds.
No, I think it was a bit more than that. I think it was about 18 million actually. Jean-Philippe Mateta. What do you think about him? I don't even know who that is.
No, do you know what? I've never heard of him. Mateta.
No. Everyday grafter. Should we go for Ben Arthur? Ben Arthur's on a free, I believe.
Yeah, Ben Arthur's on the free. There's quite a few players out there, decent players on a free transfer. You've got Herrera from Man United. You've got Balotelli as well, who I've seen his name touted about the last few days as being linked with West Ham.
Mm.
Look, if we went out and got Gomez and Rondon and Balotelli on a free, I think that'd be great for West Ham.
Would you be comfortable with them three?
Yeah, I'd definitely be comfortable, especially with the backup in midfield that they've got, with the likes of Anderson, Fornells, Antonio, Yarmolenko. As long as these players stay fit, obviously. I'd be happy with that. Definitely.
One thing I wanted to talk about, mate, I don't know whether you've got anything, but obviously Robbie Snodgrass signed a new contract, and I see a couple of people moaning about it.
Yeah, I don't get why people moan. I think Snodgrass deserves it. I mean, you think how he's been treated by West Ham, laughed at by the owner's sons, shipped out to Villa on loan. He's come back. He got his head down. He was an important part of the squad last year. He was in the first team as well for a long time last year, starting games. He sort of faded out towards the end, but he scored some crucial goals and some good goals as well. I think he deserves it. As I said, he's probably not a first team starter, but he's a good squad player, and not only that, he's a good person to have around the dressing rooms. I've not seen no player say a bad word about him, or anyone who's met him has ever said a bad thing about him. He seems like a really nice bloke. And look, it's a 1 year deal.
1 year extension.
Yeah, 1 year extension with an option for a further year. So yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good for West Ham. Snodgrass seems to love it at West Ham, and yeah,
I like him. I've always liked Snoddy. Apart from when he first got here, of course, because I was just a bit about Payet. But he changed my mind when he came back from that loan at Villa. You know, I was desperate for him to leave, and I thought, to be honest with you, the way he was treated, I thought, he wasn't coming back. They'd done him and Fonte at the same time, didn't they? When they was talking about him and Fonte at the same time. Fonte never played for West Ham again, and he was still at the club. And I see Snoddy coming out the other day saying he's so privileged to be playing for such a special club, and the fans are so special and all that. And I like that, and I don't think it's disingenuous. I think he actually means that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the thing is, what you got to remember is when Snodgrass come to West Ham, he was under a lot of pressure anyway, because we just sold Payet. And he was sort of the replacement for Payet, which, look, he was never going to be a replacement for Payet. Payet's an unbelievable talent. It's always going to be tough for him. But as you said, he come back, he got his head down. His comments that he said about the club as well, that it's a special place and it is a family club. And yeah, look, you want to hear your players say that. And I don't see why some fans are moaning. He's a squad player at the end of the day, and he's a good squad player to have. Yeah,
he's someone just asked me a question about some spare tickets website. I'm going to have a look at that before we come back to it. Snodgrass can kiss the badge, says Forever Blowing Bubbles. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. One thing we've got to touch on, mate. Did you see? I know it's not West Ham, but did you see the women's football game yesterday? Is it something that's gripped you this summer? Yeah,
I watched the ladies' football last night. I thought it was a great game, end to end. Some good football being played as well. And how unlucky was England? But Steph out and didn't look confident with that penalty. You got a striker who's scored 6 goals this tournament. Should have had 7. It was rightly ruled offside though. But she should be taking the penalty. You could see that she weren't happy. But no, it's good for women's football. It's they have 11.6 million people watching the game last night, which is massive for women's football. And I think Phil Neville's done well.
What did you think about the American players? Because there's some stuff going on this morning, and I'll be honest with you, I thought it was a bit crass from the Americans. The celebration, first of all, the drinking tea. Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't get the why people are kicking off about it. It's a celebration, We're a country of banter. We love having banter, and we take the mickey out of anyone. So for her to do that, it's I don't see why people are getting so upset. It
is a World Cup semi-final. You are playing the English. Some people would say it's just in bad taste, Ryan. You know what I mean? If she wanted to represent England in its current format, seeing as she wants to sort of like stereotype us in that sort of way, she's just want to stab someone. because that would have been more fitting of our culture.
Well, if we were to score, we could have just rolled on some big obese person with a Big Mac and chips. But no, I didn't really take offence to it. You know,
the thing is, I think it's not just that. I don't know whether you saw it, but after the game, one of our girls was having an interview with a reporter, obviously like devastated, just gone out in a World Cup semi-final, and the players were walking past screaming at her, you know, and things like that. And there was accusations. I mean, that was unfounded accusations that, you know, America wasn't very classy in the Thailand game and all that sort of thing. The thing is, I sort of see where you haven't taken offence to it. I sort of do take offence to it, that sort of thing, because if it was the other way around, there would be all sorts of fucking like accusations chucked around and all that. They wasn't very close, and that's the thing about America. They've been at the top of women's football for a long time, and that's the thing about America. You can't let them be good at anything, because as soon as they do, they become absolute fucking wankers about it.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. They've dominated women's football for a long time now, but as long as they don't start dominating men's football, that'll do me.
I told someone on a group chat today, some Americans from thinking that I'm going to email Harry Kane and suggest that he rips up a fucking turkey when we play him and he celebrates. You know what I mean? But yeah, whatever.
Well, I mean, speaking of England, it's a year ago today since we beat Colombia on penalties.
Is it really?
Yeah, you remember that day in the pub, penalty shootout?
Yeah, I do remember.
All of us going. Well, there's a video on our channel with 100,000 views on it.
Yeah,
we didn't even know that the camera was set up. Dan just set it up in the corner, and we're all shouting this, that, and the other. I would have chose a few better words to say if I knew the camera was on.
Anything else, mate? What you got? What you got with me?
Did you see the Declan Rice video?
When he gets woken up on the
Jesus Christ, that was funny. Was it Mason Mount? They're best they're best mates. They're in Dubai. He's proper shook him up, and his face, he was like that.
Yeah, that was funny, man. I that sort of thing that makes me laugh. It brings me joy to see someone as young as him enjoying his life the way he does, because he looks like he enjoys every single part of his life.
Yeah, he does. He's living the dream. He's 20 years old. He's playing in the Premier League for West Ham. The fans love him. Yeah, I was going to say England. You know, he had a tough decision to make over his international career, and he sort of made the right decision, in my opinion. Some Irish fans probably won't agree with us, but no, he's got the world at his feet, and he's only going to go on and be bigger and better, and hopefully that's with West Ham. It's going to be tough to keep hold of players like Declan Rice unless we start challenging for Europe, not win the league, but challenging to get into Europe and winning trophies, which is tough because we haven't done that for 40 years, win a major trophy. So Declan Rice is an important part of West Ham. If I was West Ham now, I'd be saying to him, look, stay with us for another 5 years. You know, the captain's armband's yours when Noble retires, and help us build something here and become a legend at West Ham.
Thoughts on Golden Sullivan?
Well, at the moment, there's not really much we can really moan. Yeah, there's not really much to moan about. You know, last season they sort of stayed out of the spotlight a bit, which was good. They backed Pellegrini, which was even better. Let's hope they do the same this summer. One thing I will say about David Gold, I don't think that's him on his Twitter. I really don't think that's him running his Twitter account. I mean, we've been in a meeting before, and I'm sure someone slipped up and said it's not him that runs his Twitter account. It's someone that writes it for him. I mean, can you really see David Gold tweeting Louisa Johnson and things like that? I've seen a slip up on David Gold's.
I've seen a slip up on there before. It's definitely not him. It's definitely not him.
No, I don't think it is him. But going back to Golden Sullivan, especially David Sullivan, he's not really in the press no more, is he? You don't really see him at games, do you? He's probably there, but you don't really see much of him. It's refreshing because that's what we wanted as fans. We wanted Jack Sullivan. Jack Sullivan took a back step on Twitter.
Well, I'm gonna mention Jack Sullivan actually because I think he deserves some praise, because there was a lovely video the other day of some kids in Africa, and one of them was writing a Noble on the back of the back of his back with a felt tip pen. Obviously, there isn't the money about, and they can't get the shirts over there. So he loved him so much that he was writing a Noble on the back of his shirt so he can play as Mark Noble. Then Mark Little tweeted out about raising some money, and we quite rightly, I said we was in. We'd donate some money to get the kid a shirt. And then Jack Sullivan stepped in and said he's sending one today. So
yeah, it's great. It just shows you the power of social media, what social media can be good for with things like that. And I see ex-employee as well got involved, and as you said, Mark Little. It was a great gesture by everyone who got involved with that. And them little kids now are going to have some kits, and I think they're sending some balls and some goals over there and football boots, and it's great. It's good to see.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some power. Them people, they could probably get some brands involved and get them a couple of things over. If they need help, we'll always be there to help.
It just shows you, doesn't it? Our we moan about little things, but how lucky we are.
Oh yeah.
It just shows you. It's little things like that that sort of touch you sometimes. You realise how lucky you are as a person. You moan about, oh, I'm sitting in traffic on the A13. Them poor kids ain't even got a football to kick about, and
yeah,
that's a good thing with social media.
Yeah, absolutely. You got anything else?
No. Speaking of, obviously, you mentioned Mark Little there. I went to see his fight on Saturday night. He won. He made it 12 out of 12.
Unbelievable.
Good night at the York Hall. See Charlie Duffield there as well. Who's another professional boxer who's fighting on the undercard of Dylan White at the O2 in a couple of weeks. I see Nedge. Balls are still Nedge. Toot. I was talking to him. He's always good for a laugh. He's going to come over and see us at the Bilbao game.
Toot. I want to do a dare with him. Maybe I'll take him into Westfield one day and recreate his old Balls of Steel videos, because I used to love him.
I think he'd do anything, mate. He's just
he's mad.
He's do you know what though? I was saying to Jade, I was saying, like, it's mad that I sit there now and I talk to him, and like I was at the York Hall on Saturday and he come over to me and said hello, and I was thinking to myself, I used to love watching Balls of Steel, and I still do watch it sometimes on YouTube, and like I used to love Nedge, and now I talk to him, like it's great, and he's even better that he's a West Ham fan.
Someone sent me a message on Facebook. With the success of the Lionesses, will West Ham Fan TV do more to promote the women's team this year? I'll be honest with you, Steve. I struggle with a fucking men's team, mate. I couldn't add another one. I said this before. If I've got time and people to do it, then cool.
No, this is what I said. Someone approached me last year and said it about it, and I said, look, we work Monday to Friday. Weekends we go West Ham. We've got families to take up a Sunday as well to go and watch the women and do all that. There is a tough. But I said, if anyone wants to do it and wants to represent West Ham Fan TV and report on the women, then fine, do it.
Yeah.
Whenever we can get, I've been to a few of the ladies' games. Whenever I get a chance, I do go over there, and they are a decent team down there. They had a great season last year, first time in professional women's football, and they reached the FA Cup final. It's massive. So yeah, if anyone wants to do it, then feel free to get in touch.
Forever Blowing Bubbles says, if West Ham won a cup next season, which song will Ryan and Nicky sing live on YouTube?
Go on, you go first. I'll have to think.
I don't know.
I'll sing whatever anyone wants to.
Any suggestions?
We could do Dolly and Kenny Rogers.
Yeah. Islands in the stream.
I'm Dolly Parton.
Yeah. Well, I've got the tits for it. Jack Stocker, hi, I'm from Botswana and I've been supporting West Ham since I was 6. I just want to say, even though all my friends support the bigger clubs, I still think West Ham are the best.
We are, and we're the bigger club as well. Don't let anyone tell you different.
Amos Chat have got a bloke that posts videos about ladies matches. Yeah, they have, definitely. Edward Webster, Nicky, are you any closer with getting another interview with Di Canio? At the moment, Edward, I'll be honest with you, mate, I am so busy trying to reform this channel, coming up with new ideas, and we're doing a big overhaul this year, and we are trying to do a lot of stuff. I haven't had time to even think about that, but that is the first thing on my list when all of this is in place.
Yeah. No, I was going to say once we get pre-season out of the way and all that, we're we've got a few people lined up for interviews, ex-players, other people as well. So we're going to do more of them next season. It'd be good. And yeah, as you said, Parlo, we definitely want to get Parlo back because I thought we was a bit let down with that. It was frustrating for us. You're sitting there with Parlo, and it was frustrating. But look, 6 minutes with Parlo Di Canio is better than no minutes with Parlo Di Canio. But next time we'll get a good 30, 45-minute interview with him, and you can because you had so many questions to ask him, and I felt sorry for you. I felt like tying Parlo down and just saying, look.
Do you remember the bit where the geezer sort of come in and went, that's it now, he's got to go. And I was sitting, I was going, can you come back?
Yeah, come back, Parlo.
No, I can't. Once I'm done, I'm done. I'm going, will you come back after?
Yeah, but that's what made me laugh. They took him outside, and I interviewed John Hartson, and I was thinking to myself, hang on a minute, John Hartson's hosting this, so why have they taken Parlo out if I'm still here with John Hartson? And I think the team he had around him were being a bit arsey, let's just say. So, but Parlo seemed to be enjoying himself.
Oh, he was. Gary Smithhurst, any update on the Socios scandal?
I've not really heard much. I've seen them.
Yes, there is. They done a poll on our favourite website the other day, as they do, trying to make the feelers out, I suppose. And 97% said they wouldn't be using it.
That's a high percentage.
Then Woosa went to an FSF meeting where they put a proposal to the FSF, which is the Premier League thing, to try to sort of get the Premier League to look at it, and they've taken that on. Make of that as you will, you know what I mean? And then all I see is our favourite website trying to say they couldn't do it, and they can't do that, but we'll leave that there.
Yeah, someone's just said here, what West Ham player do you want to interview? For me, I'd love to have an hour sit down with Mark Noble. That's my dream interview for current West Ham players now. And I'd like to interview Declan Rice as well.
Mark Eels says, have you ever considered doing match day vlogs? Mark, I'll be honest with you, mate. We used to do them. But when you go to games, especially away games, it gets very, very tiresome living your life through a lens. And I made a decision. You remember, Ryan, when I used to do it, didn't you?
Yeah, we both did, didn't we?
We both did. Yeah,
we both used to do them, but we just thought like you find yourself.
You're working from sort of like on the channel from the very minute you get up. You have to have some sort of break there. You know what I mean? Like, and living your life through a lens. I remember we done vlogs for when we beat Man City, when we beat Chelsea. The good season we had. And I was thinking to myself, fucking hell, do you know what I mean? I've barely fucking seen any of this because I've looked at it all through the telly. I might as well stayed at home. You know what I mean? So
yeah, there's nothing worse than like when you score a goal and instead of celebrating, you're trying to get your phone out to record it and all that. And I understand people. I enjoy watching people that do them, but as I said, for us, we enjoy watching the game because we've got to go and sit back and talk about it on post-match pint.
Elements and the 115. Please do a post-match pint for every game next year. We're trying. Well,
yeah, we've got fingers crossed. I mean, we haven't seen it yet, but we've got a new venue that's near the stadium, which it'll be massive for us because it's an empty space, so there'll be no background noise. It'll just be back to the old format of post-match pint. And even on away days, we can always, if we play away on a Saturday and we can't get back in time, we can always go and film it on a Sunday. So.
Stinking Nat says, would you be open to looking at a younger perspective on West Ham Fan TV /younger group? Possibly in the future.
Saucy kid. Yeah, no, it's good. There's loads of options that we're going to look at in the next couple of seasons because as he just pointed out, we're not getting any younger, so you have to sometimes hand it over and let other people get involved.
Not so much hand it over at the
No,
moment.
yeah, not hand it over, but I mean let other people get involved.
Maybe a new channel with a younger group that we sort of like run from the background. Maybe, you know, it's something that we might be looking at in the next season or so. As and the World as a £25 million release clause, he's definitely not coming to West Ham, mate. Believe me. And he's old as well. He's getting on. James Stevens, would you ever do meeting rival fans like Robbie does on Arsenal Fan TV, like a pre-match preview? We do that. We do that.
Yeah, we haven't done it enough last season, have we? But we're saying that we're definitely gonna because we're quite lucky because we sort of know all the big fan channels, don't we? So that we are up for doing collabs with anyone. I know Dan enjoys doing it. He especially the Chelsea ones. He knows Louis really well, doesn't he? So yeah, we're definitely trying to get more into that.
Neil Walker says, I think you should organise a boat trip for the Fulham pre-season. I think somebody's already done that, mate.
Yeah, I think Ironworks Tours have done one.
Yeah. Is there a player either of you lads want to interview that played from England national team from over the years? Do you know what? I went into this would have been a good one, right? But I'm going to tell a story about this now. I went into our offices at Victoria, Ball Street offices, right? And I was standing there and I was talking to someone, and then all of a sudden, through the office doors, came Paul Ince. Yeah? And he was just whinging and moaning and all that. And I was looking at him. Now, I don't really remember the Ince incident, you know what I mean? And I know there's a lot of hate for him. And I was looking at him, I was thinking to myself, should I ask him? Should I ask him? Because would it go down well? And, you know, I could really rip into him and all that. But somebody said to me, he's definitely not going to do that. He definitely wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? But I was thinking to myself, oh, this is an opportunity to, like, you know, put, I wouldn't say feelings aside, but an opportunity to put our feelings to him and let him put his feelings to us. And it would have been an explosive video, but he just said no, he wouldn't do it. I think he wanted fucking money, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, that would have been that'd have been a great interview with Paul Ince. But for me, as an England player, I'd probably have to say Paul Gascoigne. I'd love to sit down and sort of interview him and just ask him why he's wasted his like sort of life, really. Like, he's such a talent who should be more involved in football. He would have been a great pundit. Imagine if he didn't have his problems, what he'd have been like as a pundit on the England games. So yeah, a couple of questions coming up about post-match pint. I think people are starting to miss it. Do you think you could get a player to do a post-match pint with you boys? We have done, haven't we, in the past?
Yeah, we're gonna try to get more guests on there, whether it be fans or celebrities or ex-players, whatever you want to say. But it's like the problem is where we film straight after a game. Most of these ex-players are usually gone home by then, or so. But you never know.
Working on radio or whatever, you know what I mean? And
yeah, or they're in the corporate bit, you know. So you never know. With the venue that, fingers crossed, we've got, maybe we could, because we've got contacts with a few of the ex-players that work on match days. It's not far for them to walk from the stadium, so you never know. It'll be good. Always good.
All right, fellas, as an Everton fan, but keep up the good work. I said a few weeks ago I'd taken Arnautovic at Everton, but realising now his attitude really stinks. West Ham players need to fight. A couple of people have been asking me about Scott and where he is at the moment. Scott has been away for... he went to a stag do, then he went on holiday for a few weeks with his family. Unfortunately, he got some very, very sad news when he came back from holiday. And his brother, I know that the family are releasing sort of information now to everybody sort of knows. But unfortunately, when as Scott come back, a couple of days after he come back, his brother tragically passed away. Very young, very he was a massive he was a massive West Ham fan, TV fan, obviously. Scott is devastated. And I know that Scott's getting on from things day to day, but first of all, like everyone at the channel would like to send their deepest condolences to all the family. We know the family really well. We've been friends with them for, 20 years or whatever, 15 years. From it's not just Scott. We know mum, dad, brothers, everybody. So yeah, we send our deepest condolences to Scott, and Scott's been given as long as he needs to come back. So I'm sure he'll be back very soon, but just about to say, you might not see Scott for the summer, as he's sort of mourning his brother. So yeah, it'll be given as long as he needs.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I echo everything you said there. It was a massive shock when you rang me up and told me. So our thoughts are always Scott. He knows we're here for him whenever he needs us. And
yeah, definitely. What happens to the Ironworks Sunday League team? Do they still have anything do you still have anything to do with them, or are they folded? No, mate, we have not folded. We are
the champions, aren't we?
Yeah, we're the champions of Division 3. We've done really well. We won a cup in our first year. The YouTube side of it has been hard. It's been hard because we're finding people. I think they filmed them all, but getting the commentary on them and things like that, we've found it a bit difficult. So I know Scott has a lot to do with that. He's the chairman now. I was the chairman. Now Scott's the chairman. Graham's the manager. That's why you don't see him too much on West Ham Fan TV anymore. I know that they've got big plans for this year to relaunch the YouTube channel. We're looking for an editor or something like that. And, maybe someone to do some commentary. I don't know. But they are doing really well. They won a cup in their first year. We now have, in fact, we haven't folded. We've got 2 teams. We've got reserves as well. It's they're the champions of Division 2. The reserves are getting stronger and stronger. It's going from strength to strength, really. To be quite honest with you, I love them boys at the Ironworks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're a great bunch of lads, and they've done well. They've done well in their first. It's 2 seasons, isn't it? It's 2 full seasons now. So this is their third.
Going into their
third season. So they'll be looking for promotion again and another good cup run. Bit like West Ham, really. Good
Matt
cup
Powell
run.
says you need a series like hashtag. Look, we tried. It's hard. It's hard work. Them people pay a lot of money. At Kil Ravat, will there be trials soon? The training starts tomorrow, actually. We've got an influx of players at the minute. So and anyone's welcome to go to training. It is a community club. I don't know where they'll be training because I think we're changing grounds.
My bit to that is go training and try to impress.
Yes, definitely. You know what I mean? Ramiro Weeby says you guys should interview younger fans and viewers. They are the next generation. We interview fucking little kids, mate, sometimes, when they come up to us. I don't even get any younger than them.
So, someone asked a question. It's gone past now, but they asked about our opinions on Robbie. And I said to you yesterday, didn't I? It'd be nice to have Robbie on here to sort of chat about fan channels and that. But look, Robbie's a top bloke. I've got a lot of time for Robbie, as you have as well. And he's done a lot for us. He's helped us out, give us some good advice. So when we first started, remember that first meeting we had with him when he looked at our camera and he sort of chucked it on the table.
And said, "Nah."
He went, "No, you got to go and get a better camera than that." And we listened. And Robbie's always a phone call away. He's a top bloke.
Yeah. Hold on. Whose idea was it to start the channel? It's great and doing good work, lad. What do you think of Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV getting 1 million people on his channel? I don't think he's got 1 million people on his channel. I think he's got 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, it's massive, and that's the hard work he's put in over the especially the last 2 years.
Listen, one thing I say about him, right? He was lucky enough to to be in a position where he quit his job. But even before he quit his job, that man worked non-stop, full-time, 100%. You know what I mean? It's all hard work. It's all hard work. Right, that's it. I think we've got 10 minutes left. interview. Someone said Reece Spate interview babies. Then
Yeah, maybe we should. Maybe we should.
can you sign Robbie to West Ham Fan TV? No, because he's a fucking Arsenal fan.
I don't think we could afford him.
No, definitely not.
I don't know though. I think you could tease him over a till of Quality Street or something.
Get Dom on here, lads. Miss him. Oh God, someone does. Right, I'm gonna have to go because my time's coming to an end. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition. Sorry, Ryan, I have to cut it short.
No, you're all right, mate.
Something wrong with my little one. Joining us on West Ham Fan TV. Subscribe if you're new here. Subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section down below. And that's it. One thing left to say.
Come on, you Irons.